Welcome to the Center for Teaching and Learning's video series on the community of inquiry. In this short video, we'll be discussing teacher presence. Teacher presence can be defined as the design, facilitation, and direction of cognitive and social processes for the purpose of realizing personally meaningful and educational worthwhile learning outcomes. It's about translating your vibrant personality in the classroom into an asynchronous online environment. Here are a few activities that promote teacher presence. When we create activities and assessments that allow for collaboration between instructors and students, we're showing your guidance through different projects and assessments. By actively participating in social learning with students, you're showing how much you support them. When you promote conversations, dialogue, or interaction between students or students and yourself, you show you are interested in their work and what they have to say about the course materials. Then, when you provide detailed feedback or commentary on student activities before an assessment, you show that you care about their success. Here are a few items in the online classroom that do not promote teacher presence. We don't want to provide excessive auto-graded assignments. While this lessens the burden of grading, it does not provide an opportunity for personalized and individualized feedback. Students can easily identify pre-programmed or copy and pasted feedback in assessments. Always add a personal touch. Restricting your interactions only to emails and assessment feedback is replicating an activity that you do in a face-to-face classroom. With teacher presence, we're looking at how to replicate your personality and presence during class time in the online class environment. And don't expect students to initiate a dialogue via email, video conferencing, or chat. You want to be the one inviting them regularly to show support and encourage interaction. There is some debate in terms of teacher presence on the difference between facilitating and teacher presence. You don't want to exclusively use the syllabus to communicate course expectations, objectives, and outcomes. Along with the syllabus, you want to provide these items in weekly announcements or videos, things that feature you aligning those objectives that are introduced at the beginning of the year with the individual assessments or projects or activities throughout the semester or session. Programmed rubrics are great to communicate how an assignment has been graded, but along with the rubric, you want to use text or video or audio to further explain the reason behind the grade. Reinforce and explain the rubric, explain areas for improvement. Remember, rubrics say what is wrong, not how to get better. We use discussion boards a lot in the online classroom, and providing initial discussion posts for students to respond to in a forum is good. It provides direction of how you want this discussion board to be facilitated. Providing an initial post and responding to other posts makes connections and conversations and promotes more dialogue in the online classroom. This shows that you're supporting your students. When you use emails, the only interaction between yourself and your students, you are using the same sort of facilitation. You want to provide presence by providing a synchronous option to meet and interact with students along with the email, because in an online class, students don't have the same opportunity to hang back and talk to you 10 minutes after class or before class. You need to provide that same sort of interaction, but in an asynchronous and online platform. Recently, there have been some controversies with the idea of teacher presence. In September of 2017, the Department of Education cited Western Governors University. They were asked to return $713 million in federal financial aid and was declared ineligible for Title IV funding. The audit reported the courses did not feature regular and substantial interaction between students and their instructors as required by federal law covering distance education. As of March of 2018, they are still in negotiations with the Department of Education. So what does that mean, substantial interaction? Well, according to Ohio University's Office of Distance Education and eLearning, it's an interaction initiated by an instructor, so welcoming students to communicate with you. It is initiation of interaction that is regular and frequent, so things like weekly announcements, perhaps at the end of providing feedback. It's an interaction that is meaningful or of an academic nature. So if you're very present in your introduction discussion board, that's not necessarily an academic nature. You want to be active in all of the course discussion boards because you're discussing course content. Interaction must be initiated by academic personnel who meet accrediting body standards. So this doesn't mean just student-to-student interaction or interaction with publisher content. It means students interacting with their instructor and academic personnel. One of the main reasons for this controversy is the difference between correspondence courses and distance education. Correspondence courses are education provided through one or more courses in which the institution provides instructional materials and examinations by mail or electronics transmissions to students who are separated from their instructor. This is similar to distance education. The interaction between the instructor and the student is not regular and substantive, and is primarily initiated by the student, which is the opposite of distance education. Correspondence courses are also typically self-paced. A correspondence course is not distance education, and students taking correspondence courses are provided very limited, if any, financial aid support. In our institution, students rely on financial aid, so we need to meet the guidelines for that definition of distance education or distance learning, which is education that delivers instructions to students who are separated from their instructor and that supports regular and substantive interaction between the students and instructor synchronously or asynchronously using one or more of the following technologies, such as the internet, wireless communication devices, audio conferencing, and other technologies. Some of the tools that we can use in our e-learning system to promote teacher presence include announcements, discussion boards, the virtual classroom, screen capture presentations, and audio feedback. When we use announcements, we can use them to welcome students to class, use them to discuss weekly progress, or provide weekly reminders about course projects or assignments. Discussion boards promote active participation. Discussion boards provide a great opportunity for you to really interact with your students, responding to their posts, asking them questions about their responses and their reaction to the course materials. Also, your interaction shows that you're supporting their learning. The virtual classroom is a video conferencing service that can be great for meetings, either a one-on-one meeting with a student, like a conference, or a group meeting, like a tutoring group, or if you need to reinforce something from a previous week's lesson, this is an opportunity for students to hear you, see you face-to-face. Screen capture presentations provide a video of yourself along with the course materials. Instructors also use screen capture presentations to create very vibrant announcements. Audio feedback is also a great way to provide teacher presence. Not everyone's comfortable with video, but audio feedback gives the opportunity for students to hear you. So you can go through an assignment, discuss what was wrong, what could be corrected, where to go forward with this assignment, much like you would with a one-on-one meeting in the classroom with the student after an assessment. Thank you for viewing this presentation. Please proceed to the learning materials in this module. Afterward, complete the professional development task. Here are the sources used in this presentation for your reference.